Hello there guys, what is going on? Son of Chelsea back here again for the rational perspective on Kawasaki Frontale 1, Chelsea 0. The third pre-season game that unfortunately did end in Frank Lampard's first defeat of pre-season. It was frustrating. It was quite hard to watch. It was one of those pre-season games that definitely from sort of looking back at it, you're more taking the fitness and individual performances than the result itself, which is always the case of pre-season, but it is frustrating to concede that late on. And in truth, the game itself didn't have many chances, and most of those did fall to Kawasaki, who did take their chance late on. I think the most intriguing thing today was formations once again. Frank basically going back to a 4-2-3-1. At first we thought it was a 4-3-3, but it was a 4-2-3-1. And he basically went out for the full 90. He didn't change that formation. And in truth, I have to say I'm not as big of a fan as the 4-2-3-1 as, say, the Diamond or even the 4-3-3. But in terms of the game itself, looking at individual performances, I actually thought that Mount, once again, I thought was really impressive in that first half. Especially the team itself improved as the first half, but I think Mount, once again, looking most likely to score, looking dangerous when he got into the box, making late runs into the box, which Frank, of course, will want him to do. I also thought Jorginho splendid in the middle of the park. Once again, Frank making some really positive comments about Jorginho before the game, and he followed that up with another really good performance. I think it was about 60 minutes he got on the pitch, so much better from Jorginho, and I actually thought really dictating the tempo, and was unlucky actually because he put a peach of a ball over the top of the Kawasaki defence into Pedro in that first half. Unfortunately, Pedro, first time finish, couldn't get it in the goal, but I thought he was good again. Kovacic had some bright moments as well. I think the negative about the first half was that lack of service, and also lack of just that lack of clinical finishing in the final third that we did see against St Patrick's. Batshuayi, of course, up there alone. No Tammy Abraham, who was apparently ill. It's that weakness of his game of hold-up play. He had some good moments. I think the biggest frustration is both Azpilicueta and Alonso, who've been criticised, really did put in some good balls into the box. On one occasion, Alonso from, I think it was a David Luiz crossfield ball to Alonso, finding him in space, but a lovely drilled ball in, and there was no one in there. And that's what Michy has to get better at. If he's going to get that number one spot, he needs to take those chances. And unfortunately, only for him, got 45 minutes whilst Giroud took his place. And to be fair, Giroud and Michy was pretty much a tie in terms of what they did. As I said, there wasn't many chances in the game for either of the strikers, so it's hard to really judge. As I say, we're only 3 games into pre-season, and neither of those players have got a full 90 or a full even 60 under their belt. But yeah, I thought they had some good moments, especially Michy. I think he's always looking to get that shot away, which I think is a really positive thing about him. Kennedy as well, one of these players. I think even in my review of St Patrick's, I said I don't see him being part of the squad. I'd still probably stick to that, but his performance today, I think will impress Lampard. He really grew into the game and really came much more central. He started off out on the left, but really was coming in central and really assisting with the press, and was unlucky actually. Made a great one in the second half. Barkley found him, and he should have taken it around the keeper and probably would have scored. But unfortunately, the keeper saving his shot. So I thought he had a good game. As I say, in terms of wingers, you think about Hazard leaving, Hudson-Odoi injured, there may be a spot open there, and can Kennedy get into the squad? We're going to have to wait and see, but I thought he had quite a bright game individually. I think the thing about the game itself, and eventually the way it panned out, was the mountain of changes that take place in these friendlies. As the game progressed and as Lampard was trying to give more time to players, it wasn't like 2 11s as we've seen in the first 2 games. It was more of a steady sort of increase in subs, and unfortunately that did cost Chelsea in the end. But I think the biggest positive or exciting thing for me, and I know a lot of American fans, was the introduction of Christian Pulisic. He only got about 20 minutes, but he did look bright. Every touch of the ball, he looked sharp actually. Considering he's been away, and considering he's only just joined up with the squad after finishing the Gold Cup with the USA. I think he looks bright. And what I liked about him as well, there's a few times I think both crosses got blocked for corners, but each time, especially on the left where he was placed, got the ball and looked instantly first time to get the ball into the striker. And I think Giroud was there both times. And hopefully, as we've seen at his time in Dortmund, he was really good at that. And hopefully, with Chelsea, he'll be able to execute those balls a bit better and they won't get blocked out. But that's really good, you know, quick play. And that's what Frank wants. That's what Frank has sort of demonstrated in his interviews and stuff that he said, is he wants quick play. He wants 1-2 touch football. And Pulisic is definitely going to offer that. And I thought he did have bright moments and probably should have gone down for a penalty. A bit too honest right there at the end when Chelsea were chasing an equaliser. Probably should have gone down and probably would have got a penalty as well. I think the other negative as well was just defensive lapses. Kurt Zuma and David Luiz in the first half had several moments like that. And of course, later on in the game when Kawasaki really pushed that winner late on, we really had a mix-up where two players were going for the same ball and it went over, and there was a man free at the back post to score the winner. But I have to say, I actually think it's a positive sometimes with these games. I actually like the fact that we're getting challenged. You see so many preseason friendlies where 5-1, 6-0, in some cases 12-0, where it's like the team isn't learning anything. They're just, it is like a training session. And this is still a training session, but I like the fact that there will be things for Frank clearly to work on towards the Barcelona game. And as well, we still got the likes of Kepa and Kante when he's fit, especially Kepa and Tammy as well, to come back into the team, and Willian when he joins up with the team as well. So there still is some players who need to get involved. I think the biggest interest is that formation. What is going to be the formation? Because I still think Barkley, when he came on, had some good moments. How many of those good midfielders are going to be able to fit into one formation? We've seen him play the diamond, which out of a very short period of time we've been able to watch this team, has looked the most promising. But, the standard thing in the Premier League is to go one up front. But I just think, considering maybe the struggles of those players, of those forwards we have, could playing two be the best? But then, as I've expressed before, how does that impact the likes of Pulisic, Willian, Hudson-Odoi and even Kennedy? So that is it for my review of Kawasaki 1, Chelsea 0. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts on the friendly, who played well, who didn't, the formation and everything I've discussed in the comments below. Follow me on Twitter @SonOfChelsea, and I'll see you again.